it's Whisper Willow, and I am here reading my short story. It's a story that I wrote for English class last semester, and it's sort of dark and a little bit amateur, very amateur actually. It's very different than what I've ever done before, so, sorry, I just got an itch. I hope you'll like it. It's called Sever. I don't know if I said that already, but there's gonna be some clicking because it's on my computer, and I'm doing this on my computer, so I hope you don't mind that. So please make sure to like and comment and all that good stuff, and if you do like this story, please tell me because I have no idea if it's good or bad or anything. So here goes. The two lifeless bodies lay in a pool of spilled blood. The police tape cut off the gruesome scene and the horrible truth from the rest of the world. I wonder what happened here, asked a disturbed deputy. Don't know, the sheriff sighed sadly. Whatever happened, it must have been bad. He looked around the terrible sight and then looked back at the pale deputy. Really bad. To know the truth of his grim crime when you start from the beginning. It starts like any other love story. A boy and a girl. Chloe Devins was like any normal girl. She was pretty, smart, and compassionate. One of those girls who would never hurt a soul. She could never hate anyone. I guess that's why Eddie Woods wanted her so badly. She was the perfect prey for someone like him, so innocent. Eddie Woods, on the other hand, was selfish, overbearing, and mean. He had one intention for Chloe, to get another trophy. He needed to have control over everything in life. He was an average teenage boy on the outside. If you spent a little time with him, you would notice some strange bursts of rage and other daunting things. If you ever found out the truth about him, he would make sure no one else would. He was a serious guy who didn't like jokes. It was a Friday afternoon when he saw her sitting in the cafe reading a book alone. That's when he finally decided to make his move. Hi, you're Chloe, right? He asked while he ran his hand through his dark brown hair and smiled at her. Yeah, she said, looking up from her book into his bewitching blue eyes. And you are Freddie? She asked kindly. It's Eddie, he said a little too forcefully. Sorry, she said sweetly. I didn't mean to upset you. She blushed from the embarrassment. Oh no, it's okay, it's just that. He paused, conjuring up fake tears, trying to make up for his angry tone earlier. Well, my brother used to call me that, but then he what? She stopped realizing what he meant. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, she added as she touched his arm gently. A chill went through her fingertips. It's fine, I just miss him. He looked into her big brown eyes with a look of fabricated grief. We did everything together. He looked at her face again and saw what he wanted, a love-struck girl. I knew that stupid dead brother thing would work. She thinks I'm great. I've got her now, and sadly, he did. After that day, they were together, always. Chloe and Eddie had been going out for a couple months now. They seemed to be the perfect couple. You would always see them holding hands and cuddling. Their relationship was as normal as any other. Then that night came. That's when everything changed. They were cuddling on the couch watching a movie. It was rainy. It was a rainy Sunday night at Eddie's house, and they weren't alone as usual. I don't know about you, but I'm starved. Do you want anything from the kitchen? She asked as she got up from the couch. Yeah, can you get me some popcorn? He requested. Hurry back, he said in a demanding voice, as he looked back at her in the kitchen. Don't worry, it's not like I'm leaving you, she said playfully. I guess he didn't get it. You better not leave me, he answered a little too seriously. Calm down, it was a joke, Chloe said with a hint of annoyance in her voice. Well, it wasn't funny, he expressed angrily. Wow, "What's up your ass tonight?" Chloe asked in a peevish tone. She walked out of the kitchen and went towards him. "How dare you talk to me like that?" He was standing up and was now yelling at her. "What, are you my mother? You can't tell me what to do. I can damn well try." He yelled it right in her face, and he slammed his fist on the table next to them. She looked up at him and rolled her eyes and uttered a tired sigh. "I don't want to do this tonight, okay? I'm just gonna go home." She grabbed her purse and was walking out the door when he grabbed her arm. "You're not going anywhere. You're gonna stay right here with me." "Ow," she yelled. "Eddie, let go of me." That only made him squeeze harder. "You're never going to leave me," he told her while twisting her arm downward. She fell to the floor in pain. She tried to get back up and run, but he wrapped both arms around her in a bear hug. "Let me go," she was getting louder. "I can't do that," he said in a psychotic kind of way. She tried to scream out for help, but he put his hands over her mouth. Tears escaped her frightened eyes and ran down her face. He whispered in her ear, "You will never leave me. Even if you get away, I will always be with you." She bit his hand hard and tried to run away. He grabbed her foot and tripped her. She started kicking furiously at him. "Let go of me, please." She stopped fighting him and came at him and just stopped screaming. She stopped fighting him and screaming at him. She just stopped everything. What the hell? He still had her legs in his arm. Then she made a fist and punched him in the face. He was completely caught off guard. He fell on his back. Then she rose to her feet and towered over him. He was about to stand up when she stomped her foot on his face. "Who the hell are you?" she demanded. "It's Eddie. I'm your boyfriend, Chloe. I'm sorry I went crazy, but I love you. You know that, baby." "Oh, you think I'm Chloe?" She laughed. "Oh, and trust me, I'm not your baby." "What the hell is wrong with you? Are you insane or something?" He screamed out in pain because her foot stepped harder on his face. "I don't like it when people call me crazy," she screamed as she bent down and grabbed his head. "I got news for you. You are crazy, so get used to it." He made a bad choice. She didn't like that, so she slammed his head on the ground. He got knocked out and his nose started to bleed. The blood ran off his unconscious face and onto the white carpet. She then got up. "I hate it when they make a mess," she said while turning her back on him. He regained consciousness and started to get up. He tried to pounce on her. He thought that he caught her off guard, but she turned around and kicked him in the chest. He stumbled backwards and she walked up to him and punted him in the crotch. He fell to his knees in pain. She then walked over to him and bent down to his ear. "You think you're so tough, don't you? Hurting girls because you makes you feel better. Well, how would you like it if I hurt you, huh?" she said while she took his arm and brought it behind his back. She twisted his arm so hard that it popped out of his socket. He screamed out in pain. "Let's see how you like it when I grab your legs and call you insane." She said this while going over to the fireplace to get a poker. He looked at her with fear in his eyes. "I'm sorry," he pleaded. "Just please don't hurt me anymore, please." "Oh no, that's not how it works." She started towards him with the fire poker in hand. "You see, I have rules that I live by. An eye for an eye is one of them. You grab my legs, I break yours. You see how that works?" she said. And then she drew the fire poker behind her back, almost like an axe, and swung down on his legs. His legs didn't break, but the blow was hard enough to make him immobile. The white carpet was stained with splattered blood. He was screaming in pain. "See, it's not so fun to have someone hurt you." He nodded because he was in too much pain to speak. She walked away from him and sat down in a chair and let out a sigh. "Why are you doing this to me?" "Why, you ask?" she said as she turned a chair around so she rested her hands on the back of it. Well, you see, I have a little anger management problem. You got that right, he said under his breath. What did you say? She demanded. Nothing, he said almost in a whisper. Like I was saying, it all started when I was a child. I lived in an institute. Loony bin, he said under his breath. This time she heard him. What did I say about calling me crazy? She screamed as she got off her chair and picked it up. She ran to him and swung as hard as she could, hitting his face and chest. The chair broke and he fell to the floor, spewing blood on the already stained carpet. She stood over him with a faint smile on her face. I'm glad that's... She stopped for a second time, and then all of a sudden, the hate was gone and Chloe came back. She gasped in horror at the scene that was in front of her. She sank to her knees, crying. Not again. Oh God, please, not again. She pleaded in between sobs. She bent over her dead boyfriend, Eddie. She touched his cut face, felt his non-existent heartbeat, and cried out. Sorry, I can't let this happen again. I should have stopped it a long time ago. She picked up her cell phone and dialed 911. She told them where to go. It would be a while till they would arrive to his house. It was just enough time to end the terror once and for all. She walked into the kitchen and grabbed a knife in her shaking hand. She walked back to the place where Eddie was, laying in a puddle of his own blood. Sorry. I'm sorry this happened to you. I really am. And she started to cry more. There's only one thing I can do to stop her from killing again. She looked up to the sky, and then she was about to plunge the knife into her stomach when a voice interrupted her. Really? A knife? That's so cliche. Leave me alone. You're the reason why I'm doing this, she sobbed aloud. Really? I'm the reason why? Are you sure it's not you because you're crazy? It said tauntingly. I'm not the crazy one. You are. Are you sure about that? I'm not the one who kills people, she yelled. Really? Who is all the evidence pointing towards? You were the only one around. You touched him. You have blood on your hand. You have his blood on your hands. You know you did it. You're the guilty one. They're gonna blame it on you, he was shouting. Shut up, she said, rocking back and forth with her hands on her ears. Shut up, I can't take you anymore. And with that, she took the knife and stabbed herself in the stomach. She started to bleed out on the now red carpet. She couldn't scream because the wound was too painful, but inside her head, all she could hear were cries of pain. She heard the sirens. With the final movement, she raised a knife to her throat and severed her jugular vein. She fell to the ground and bled out. A tear fell off her cold, dead cheek and hit the river of blood that was rushing out of the corpse's body. Yeah, sorry, it's really kind of bad and creepy and very scary, I think. I wrote it when I had this vision of some, don't ask me what, but I thought it would just be cool to have sort of a twist middle, I guess you could say, and a twist ending. It surely could use some work. I'm just amateur writer, like I'm not any good at all. So, if you guys have any tips, please go ahead and write it in the comments, because I have no sweet clue. But I hope you like this, and if you do, just tell me and I can read more, or anything, any suggestions or requests, or if you just want to talk, just message me or put it in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys because you are awesome, and I think this is my longest video ever. So, I will say good night and hopefully sweet dreams. Maybe